Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have terrible luck for the next week.
Whether attached to police vehicles or individual cars, dashcams capture some of the creepiest and most unexpected things. Talking about filming in real time, convenience, and safety, this technological tool is ever present. Sit tight and enjoy the strange things caught on the dashcam. Skeptical roadblock. Driving at night is dangerous but sometimes inevitable. While at it, be cautious of the safety signs and be on the lookout for hoodlums. The driver in this video is lucky. If he didn't escape, we might have not seen this footage. He is driving down a lonely road but isn't speeding. This suggests he isn't scared about the terrain. Minutes into the journey, he encounters a roadblock. He slows down only to see a man walking towards him. While thinking of what to do next, the man dips his hand into his pocket. There was no need to start questioning his next move. The driver of the vehicle sped and left the location. Who knows what would have become of him? Car vanishes through a fence. The creepiest things happen at night, and this one captured by a police dashcam is about to blow your mind. This man went contrary to the law and the police began a search for him. He sped in his car and the officer ran closely after him. During the high-speed chase, the suspected criminal vanished through a chain-link fence. This isn't a scene from a movie but a real-life event that occurred in Texas. There are theories and counter-theories that explain this, but there's no conclusive answer to this day. Unprovoked shooting. Whenever there's a breach of traffic law, the police go after the offender immediately. In this clip, the driver is overspeeding, and despite calls to make him reduce the speed or halt, he is adamant. The police are after him to bring him to justice, but he is on the run. When he finally comes to a halt, you're forced to think he's about to apologize. He doesn't do that. Instead, he moves towards the police and pulls out a gun. He aims for the officer and shoots him while firing randomly in the air. The affected cops call for reinforcement from members of his team while the assailant drives off. A child running on the highway. Sometime in 2016, a man was driving on the highway at night when he experienced something unusual. A child running down the middle of the road is enough to scare you, but doing that at night? That's pretty absurd. Thankfully, the driver in this footage wasn't speeding, and so it was easy to see the toddler approaching him from afar. While he could have quickly gone his way, he came to a halt and pulled the child out of the road. As he stood in awe, wondering what to do with the child, her parents came running towards him. It was the parent that they had been looking for all night long. Officer deliberately rams into armed suspect. This police officer got a distress call from a house that was just robbed, and he responded swiftly. Not many agree with this strategy because apprehending the suspect was way better. On seeing the man from a distance, the Arizona police officer runs over him without giving him a day in court. This is not only unfair, but absurd too. Why did the chicken cross the road? One lucky driver's dashcam captured a tragic but hilarious scene where a hen was in front of a vehicle. Luckily, the driver saw the chicken early enough and didn't crash into it. It was the white Ford pickup truck behind the car that captured an unusual sound from the crash. Another person in a Kia Rio sedan crashed into the truck in a bid to avoid the commotion. We do not see the crash, but from the sound, you can guess it was disastrous. The funniest part of it all is how the chicken leaps a foot in the air and flaps its wings erratically. It made us believe that it would fly away, but the next second, we see it land on the tarmac. Meteors across Russia. The Chelyabinsk meteor is one event in Russia would never forget in a hurry. Even if they wanted to, there are recorded clips of the event that reminds the citizens of that sad day. The Chelyabinsk meteor weighed over 13 tons and moved at 40,400 miles per hour when it entered the Earth's atmosphere on February 15, 2013. Dashcam across the country caught this flaming rock through the sky, and the memory remains evergreen. Unfortunately, it exploded over the city of Chelyabinsk, hence its name. The waves shattered windows and destroyed valuables. About 1,500 people were injured from flying shards of glass, and most families were thrown into perpetual sadness. Dashcam falls from crashing rally car. In 2016, Martin Cater was behind a Skoda 130 LR wheel when he was involved in a rollover crash. It's usual for things like this to happen in rallies like the Podbriska rally, but this one made the news for some reason. During the accident, the dashcam left the windshield and landed on the ground but continued working despite the impact. Scenes from the incident felt like a video game played in the third-person perspective because it captured the moment a car fled into the air. This video was deliberately edited so that some parts are slow. This provides a clearer view of the events before, during, and after the crash. Rolling over a Skoda 130 LR sounds terrifying, but thankfully, the driver escaped unhurt. Distracted minivan driver. Rocket launches are a spectacular sight any day, any time. The recent SpaceX launch from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California was a fantastic sight. When it was launched, it gave the 4 million Los Angeles residents a show in the sky. Unfortunately, one driver couldn't control the urge to sit and stare. The sight of the rocket was understandably distracting, and the driver of this Toyota Corolla realized it when it was too late. The dashcam showed how the distracted driver wreaked havoc during the rush hour. With the roads filled with the cars rushing home, a minivan blasts full force into the back of the Corolla that gets shoved into an SUV. Thankfully, no one sustained severe injuries. Toyota Supra goes flying. This video comes from dashcam owners in Australia, and there are no logical explanations for what happened here. One wonders why a Mark IV Toyota Supra makes a sudden hard left. The result of this sends the Japanese classic into the air even though it isn't a flying vehicle. At least not yet. Considering how far the car flew, shots released after the video shows that the car isn't that beat up. The glass remains intact and there are no creases on the roof. The car may have passed the intersection before starting to slide. Whether it's a mechanical failure or wrong driving decision, the driver is lucky that his Supra looks good and has lived to see another day. Changing clothes while driving. I understand the need to meet up with tight schedules and wear comfortable clothes for all occasions. However, saving time by changing your dress in a moving car doesn't only sound stupid, but insensitive. The dashcam from a truck captured an incident on the highway when a woman was changing her shirts while steering her car. We don't see her do it, but the other driver explains the sudden reason for her Toyota Corolla losing control. The clip was filmed by Ken Conley, who is a truck driver here. If the claims that the girl was changing her dress while driving is anything to go by, then something is wrong. Watch out for holes. We've all been in that one shoe. We've all been driving and concentrate so hard on something else that we lose focus. However, you only pray that you get yourself in order before something disastrous happens. Two ladies were engrossed with driving around Pelham looking for candle supplies that they didn't see a giant pothole ahead. We see the vast bump ahead, but for some reason, they don't. The result is a crash followed by a flapping noise from a dismembered drive shaft. This incident doesn't even shake these ladies as they're surprised and confused, but not worried. As if that wasn't enough torture, when someone came to help them, one of the ladies asked if he knew where candle supplies are.
Now it's time for today's best pick.
This image was sent to us by a subscriber. If you come across an image on the internet and want to know more about it, please send it to us. We'll analyze it and possibly feature it in our next video. Plane lands on the road. This footage is courtesy of the Pinellas County Sheriff in Clearwater, Florida. In this video, a small plane lands on a busy road. Thankfully, no one was hurt and the police were able to respond swiftly. Local authorities say the plane is 1112A fixed-wing single-engine aircraft. Mac Benedict, the pilot, was accompanied by an unidentified passenger and both of them walked away unhurt. Although the landing took place on a major route, no one was hurt. The pilot reported that the plane had engine problems when it approached the town and he was looking for a safe place to park and deal with the situation before the plane clipped on a tree and went into a spin.
Before we move on, I have a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. Just leave a like on the video, smash the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. And you'll get 25 years of good luck. Try it. It really works.
Floating in a tsunami surge of water. Japan's 2011 tsunami is one of the most terrible disasters to have happened. To this day, the country is yet to recover from an incident that claimed about 20,000 lives. The disaster caused a meltdown at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant and left the people devastated. The driver of this vehicle managed to capture some details of that eventful day. Aside from the deaths, there were major and minor injuries too. This is just one in 1,000 other video evidence detailing the horrors of the Japanese tsunami. There you have it. If your dashcam has captured any footage you'll love us to see, please send it to us. Who knows, we may feature it in subsequent videos. Please like and subscribe to this channel for updates on our latest content. Until another mind-blowing episode, adios.